Hey, good morning here. Captain Paul here with Fish P&W Guide Service, and I'm here with our special guest, Chef Taichi Kitamura of Sushi Capo Tamura. And he's going to be joining us for some squid fishing today on the beautiful Puget Sound. Welcome, Chef.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
We're excited to go squidding with Captain Paul. Squidding on a boat is as fancy as it gets.
Well, welcome. True. Yeah, we're looking forward to it, and yeah, thank you so much for joining us for this awesome show. Brought to you by the Marine Trade Association. Thank you. Destination here, so I'm looking between 40 to 50 feet of water. We've got a tide that's coming in. When we night squid, we're just looking for depth. We're looking for structure. So we like pilings, we like jetties, we like sandy bottom, a mixture of kelp, essentially habitat for what squid like. And so they're coming in obviously to spawn. So they're gonna find their mates. They're gonna deposit their eggs on the bottom, and then they're hungry too. So similar to salmon.
So is there a certain depth that they're?
Yeah. So that's a great question. So we do find them anywhere from 30 feet all the way down to 100 feet. And so depending on the time of day, we will present our offerings in terms of the squid jig in those depths. And typically, we're gonna find those squid biting 90% of the time on that bottom layer of the ocean floor, of the Puget Sound floor.
Okay.
So it's very important that we keep our jigs down, we keep them vertical, and we keep them active, because that active movement is what evokes the strike. They believe these jigs are prey, such as krill or or shrimp, and so they're going to want to go after that, attacking it, because they're hungry. They're trying to, get their spawning nature out. Yeah, they're trying to mate essentially, and we're trying to intercept them when we've got the most amount of them as possible. So the importance of having the lights is twofold, right? It attracts the bait fish into the area, such as invertebrates, shrimp, small bait fish. And what that does is it attracts the squid as well, because they see the light, they're drawn to that light, and so they're drawn to the bait fish, and so they think, okay, ding, 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 it's buffet time. So they're coming in, and then we're intercepting them with our jigs, and sometimes it could be just lights out fishing. Other times
lights on
fishing, right? And so other times, it takes a little bit of time for them to get going here. So I don't see anything yet coming in, but we'll just give it a few here.
So that's literally what we're doing, is we turn on the lights and we're just waiting for the school to show up.
We're gonna wait for the school to show up,
Okay.
yeah, with the tide coming in. So yeah,
Okay.
That's kind of what we're waiting on right now. We're sitting in water right now. You can see where I just dropped the lights. We're in 41 feet of water. You can see the red as being the hard rocky bottom here. And then we'll start seeing like a carpet of squid showing up. And they will appear much different than herring or salmon will look like on the sounder. So you see these squiggly lines that are starting to show up here? I believe that could be squid showing up for the party here. So we'll give them a little bit. I want to get that building a little bit more and see if those are squid indeed, or if that's just kelp or debris that's just kind of floating by with the tide here. But you can see all the squid that are kind of coming into play here. So they're building, so they're attracted to that light. We got the transom lights on, we've got the overboards lights, and then we got the overheads above surface on, and you can see they're anywhere from 30 feet all the way down to the bottom, and I know that's squid because very, very characteristic. So we're gonna get rigged up here and get Chef hooked up, and hopefully we can get a few onto the boat. Squidding is actually technically open all year round. So the Department of Wildlife and Fish and Game, they regulate the season, but it is technically open all year round. We have two distinctive runs of squid. There's a summer run that usually starts in June, goes out until August. But my favorite and our guest favorite are the winter runs, which is happening right now.
usually the months of October, November, December, and then sometimes into January, we get a much nicer class of squid, anywhere from 8 to 12 inches that we're seeing. So very worthwhile to get out and chase these beautiful creatures of our Puget Sound here, because they're a lot of fun to catch and even better, tastier to eat.
Yeah. See this? These are all squid. Yep. Okay, so let's
The
get
party
good.
is starting.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So let's get Chef rigged up here. So we're going to be using pretty ultralight gear here, and so obviously the most important thing is going to be the squid jig. So these are actually weighted. They're made with lead. It's got a lead core with a mylar outer shell. There's glow elements as well as UV that are incorporated into these jigs. Okay, so there's a set of umbrella hooks here, so it's much different than actual fishing. When you sense a strike or when you sense a squid around, they'll latch onto this with their tentacles, and they won't be able to escape because they've got their suction on top of the body. Their legs will be caught up in this, and so what the fishermen will feel is actual heavy weight. They'll get to sense this because they're jigging up and down. They'll notice that it's different than what normal is. They'll feel that, and then they'll be reeling it up to the surface. Okay.
And why do you have 2 jigs on?
So the regulation allows up to 4 jigs per line. However, we generally like to keep it limited to 2, maybe 3. We typically don't use all 4, but you are allowed to use up to 4 jigs. I do like to stagger them. Stagger meaning I use a heavier point jig or a bottom jig with a lighter upper jig. Sometimes it's not weighted or it's very light, maybe a half or quarter ounce. And again, they've got the UV and the glow elements to them, and so that's separated by a short section, maybe 12 to 15 inches of 50-pound leader material, and this helps the jigs from not tangling or fouling as they're dropped down to the bottom.
So do you ever run 4 jigs?
I've done that just for fun, but sometimes it's more troublesome, especially for beginners and when we have our guests on board. I've done it, and it's a lot of fun, and we can definitely catch a lot of squid that way too. I mean, we've caught up to 6 squid on one pull on a 4 jig setup, so it's a lot of fun. So what we're going to be using is an ultralight rod. This rod is actually made for crappie fishing. It's from the Berkeley company. It's a very lightweight rod. It's balanced, and I took this kind of from the idea from the fly fishing world, because a lot of the dock squidders like to use a 9-foot rod, and I couldn't find a 9-foot rod that was light enough and sensitive enough to go squidding. But Berkeley came out with this crappie series. It's a C series rod. I don't know if you can see that. And so it's ultralight. It's got a very comfortable upper and lower EVA grip. And so instead of having a fly rod typically end right here and using a spinning reel on that, we've got this butt section that we can use as leverage, to use both hands to jig with, versus just one hand and then causing a lot of fatigue or a lot of repetitive motion to it. So we're gonna get set up, and then we're gonna let Chef do some fishing here, and we're gonna see if we can find some squid here. So I'm gonna open this up. Reel. And when you reel up, don't bring the jig all the way to the tip, okay? When you see that top jig, just lift the whole rod to the whole tip towards you. Oh, my. Okay. So we got a double right off the top, okay? So these are nice sized squid. So you never want to dip the squid back into the water. You never want to dip the squid back into the water, because it gives them a chance to squirt that ink onto you or just all over the boat. So it's a great idea just to kind of let them spit once, twice out there. And again, that's why we like a 9-foot rod. We like to squirt them out there instead of on you, right? And so here we've got a double setup. That was our first drop, literally first drop. Chef just felt that and then brought it up here. So the squid, as you can see, they're hooked on pretty good here, right? And so yeah, I mean, you can see the beautiful size of these squid. You see all the chromatophores here, so they have an awesome camouflaging mechanism to evade their predators, and they've got obviously the ink that they use to escape their predators as well. So this is an average size winter squid. This is a very nice class of Loligo opalescens. You'll see that's a scientific name for these Pacific market squid. Absolutely delicious to eat, absolutely fun to catch on light tackle out here in the Puget Sound. Okay, so they like that double R orange jig. That's a really nice color to have. So I like having pinks, greens. Orange seems to be a really hot color this season. So I like buying these jigs from our local producer, which are handmade and local, and so it supports small business, obviously, in a time that people really need the extra income. So support your local jig makers. So we'll get this guy into the live well here. All right, let's check that. I think that line is kind of going. Squid on. Look at that orange again. They're really liking that color this year. I can just empty it right in the bucket and send it right back down. So it's just like boom, boom, boom. When the light's on and the squid are around, there's no slowing down. It's a lot of fun for people who are used to traditionally trolling for salmon. For Chef's got one here too. There you go. Wow. Whoa.
Another double.
There you go. I got one. I'm hooked up. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Yes, we got a double here, 2 for 1. That's what we call a twofer. Again, hit that orange jig again. It's really hot. So you need either a shellfish license or a saltwater fishing license in order to enjoy squidding. So there's no catch card associated like in crab or salmon. So you just need that. The limit is 10 pounds per license per day, per calendar day. And then typically right now these winter varieties are running around 6 to 7 per pound. So we figured, okay, well, if that's the average, then 60 to 70 before we reach a limit. So this is a medium-sized squid right here, and so yeah, but still excellent table fare.
Chef's hooked up over here
Chef's
too.
hooked up as well. There you go.
Nice job.
That's a big one.
That's a good
Wow.
one. You want to put that one in the live well there? So I'll know that there's a squid on because of that up-down jigging action, because I know exactly what that weight is doing. And so once there's a difference in that, it'll feel like it's almost dead weight to it. And so sometimes I can even feel the squid pulsing as as they've grabbed onto those jigs, they're trying to swim away from it, but then they can't, obviously, because of those umbrella hooks that are impaled into the tentacles here. So nothing going on the screen right now. They're just kind of seem to be a little fickle, but I know it should improve here.
Nice. Nice.
Bring it up quick, drop it off. So it's kind of like fly fishing, where there's a timing and tempo to it. Right?
Squid on, squid on.
And we got Chef on over here too.
All right, good one in here. Perfect. Here we go. Yeah, this is like a commercial industrial LED. It's a Cree LED. This particular light is a 500 watter. You can see the size of those heat sinks on that because it puts off an enormous amount of light. We were running over 100,000 lumens on this boat just with these lights set up. And so, my philosophy is the better the light, the stronger the action is. And you can see that right there. That orange jig, 2 for 1 right there. Squidding again. You can see when the action's really hot, it doesn't take long to reach your limit. So it's a lot of fun and it's engaging. It's great for kids. It's great for people who normally think of fishing as like a boring thing to do, right? Yeah. Because everyone's got a rod and reel, everyone's engaged. It's very visual, and you see it out here, and obviously you're out here on the beautiful Puget Sound. Chef's hooked up here, it looks like. I'm hooked up here, so we got a twofer. Oh, nice. Yes, sir. There you go.
They're good size.
Nice.
Yep.
There you go. Squid on. You can lean up against that combing pad if you need a little more stability there. Perfect. Perfect. There we go. That orange again. That's a hot color this winter. Perfect. Go ahead and open it up and send it back down. Yeah, not much on the screen. They like that side, don't they? Woo! Nice job, Chef. Those little baskets can be purchased from the dollar store, and then what it does is it allows the salt water and the ink to drop down below, so you're not weighing. You're just weighing squid. You don't weigh the extra liquid that's kept in there. And so then it's an easy way to transport the squid from the mesh bucket into a plastic bag for our guests to take home. I don't care if you're the most advanced angler. I mean, we've had some really hardcore offshore tuna guys, halibut guys, lingcod guys that do this stuff like day in and day out. You know, I invite them to come out here, and it's like everyone turns into a kid when they're on the boat and they're catching squid. It's a good time. You're hanging out with your buddies or your family, and you can. I've had grandparents come out with their kids and then their grandkids, and everyone's having a great time. And so it's all about smiles. It's all about making memories, and it's all about having fun. Here you see a nice, very classic, nice specimen here. You see the chromatophores, it's changing color. You got the wings here. You've got the tentacles. They've got 10 tentacles, and then right in the center of that you'll see the beak. Okay, and that's what they use the tentacles obviously to grab their prey. You can see it'll be actually sticky, right? They'll grab onto that. Show you. And then right in the center is their beak, and that's what they use to crush and eat their prey. Right in the center. So you see the big eyes, you know, engineered for low light feeding. You'll see the jet propulsion in through here. They shoot. I mean, they're so fast and graceful, and you see the ink sac in here, the little bit of ink. It's kind of, you see it breathing. We're gonna release this one, give them some into the live well it goes. And you see it just inked. So that's a natural defense mechanism of those squid to evade their predators. So he's inked. He's shot off to the other side. He's in there with his buddies hanging out.
They sort of have a gold sheen.
They do. There's a luminescence to them for sure.
That's what it is. Very cool.
Yep. And it's there as to provide like a mirror-like image, and so it looks like a reflection in the water. And again, I tried squidding on the dock, and I didn't like it. I hated it because, you know, I've got young kids, and it's not a hospitable place for beginners or children to be out on those docks, public docks at nighttime. It's intimidating, to be honest with you, because, you know, if you make one wrong cast, you're shoulder to shoulder with everyone on the public pier. Everyone's like mad at you, so it's like I don't want my kids around that. So then I thought, okay, you know what? It's like I'm gonna see if I can find them on the boat. There's a few around. I'm gonna see if I can find them on the boat, and I did that about this time last year. I took my family out, my wife and 2 boys, and we had an absolute blast catching them.
And it was the adventure of going out on the boat at night too. Was awesome.
Exactly, yeah. It's just like the best memories are made on the boat, in my opinion, right? Yeah. There's no bad days when you're on the boat. Yeah. So we love the water, we love getting out, and obviously spending time together, and if we're catching crab or flounder or squid, then we're having a great time, right? So I thought, hey, I'd love to share this joy with others, right? And so that they can experience it, because a lot of people don't even know that squid are around our area. And we're very unique. We're very, very unique. Now, Portland doesn't have it. I mean, I don't know if Vancouver has them, but
another down. We're in the city of Seattle right now.
We're in the city of Seattle. We're fishing
environment.
Yeah, exactly. And we're catching these. Yeah, exactly. And that's beautiful. I mean, we have such a wonderful resource here. We live in a major metropolis, but you get out here and you feel like your stress and your thoughts are just miles away, right? And so you're just focused on one activity, just having fun catching squid. Yeah, so I thought, here's a great opportunity to share this resource with other people, and no one else was doing it. And I said, okay, I'm just gonna kind of go out on a limb and just put it out there, and it started out a little slow, but the response has been phenomenal. So I'm really pleased to see that. West Seattle Bridge being down, that prohibits a lot of guys and gals from heading over to Seacrest Pier. It's still pretty popular over there. Dash Point Pier has just been recently shut down by the Tacoma Parks Department for overcrowding and people not social distancing. Fights breaking out because of people
spots
getting
on the
out
rails,
there for territory. Spot? Yeah, they want their territory, because there are certain spots of the public dock that end up squid fishing better than other parts, right? And so you get very, you get those dock personalities. And again, I don't want to be surrounded with that. Number one, from a safety standpoint. Number two, You know, like why fight someone? I'd rather just be out
I've
on my
been on
own
the boat.
and then sharing these experiences on the boat. So it's a blast. Yeah.
Oh, hello. Welcome back, my friend.
Yes, welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. So the key is to put the point jig or the bottom jig. You notice the size difference on that, right? So we got a 2 ouncer here with a 1 ounce in the middle, and then a ½ ounce or a 1/4 ounce on the top. So then that way, when you drop it, this is going to be the lead jig. It's going to sink the fastest, right? And then it's again separated by about 12 inches of 50-pound mono in between, right? And so we want this to obviously fall, not get tangled up or fouled with anything else, right? So that's how you rig up the smaller ones. Right?
Progressively get bigger as it goes down.
Progressively get heavier as we go down. You can put an unweighted jig, and again up to four jigs for the sport fishermen.
Cool.
Perfect. Keep the light. It's cool. It's amazing what electronics will do, and what it'll show you. One night we were out, and it was just a wall of squid, and then all of a sudden, we see like thousands of squid just zooming underneath the boat, and we thought, what the heck happened? Something spooked them big time, right? You look at the screen, it just completely stopped where the squid were. There were 2 massive arches, so a couple of big seals hunting down that big school of squid, and they just scattered away from the boat. But then we waited like 5 minutes, and the next thing you know, they came right back, and we were back ripping squid. So the key to having really good electronics on the boat is very important when you're squid digging on the boat.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of bait fish here.
So what is your electronics here? What
So we're using a Raymarine system, and so chirp transducer. And it's just a standard out of the box. I don't make any adjustmts or change any of the settings. It works great. It's an ES Series 78, I believe, and yeah, not the biggest screen or anything, but it works. Yeah, nothing going on here. Actually, we've got all kinds of things out here. We've got socks and articles of clothing. No, but out of all seriousness, yeah, no, we catch tons of flounder out here on the same squid jigs that we use for squid. We've caught that. We've caught crabs, Dungeness, as well as red rock. Obviously, they're not in season here in area 10, so we got to let those go. And then we've caught one of our guests caught a blackmouth actually on one of these squid jigs, and it didn't come into the boat, but it scurried off. It was enough for me to tell that it was a blackmouth. I could see by the size of it. It was a decent sized blackmouth. We've also caught ratfish. He's hooked up. We've also caught. What else did we catch? We caught.
Wow, that's a good size one too.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
First sunrise bite.
Yeah. Lots of sea pens, sea cucumbers. So we see all kinds of interesting things coming out of the Puget Sound. So it's a lot of fun. It's the mystery of what you're pulling up, and sometimes you got a really heavy rig on there. You're like, what is it? What is it? What is it? And sometimes it's just a bunch of squid, or it's flounder most of the time. So
that's great.
Yeah. Hey everyone, we're back at the dock now. So we had an awesome morning. So Chef Taichi and we went out and joined by Carson and Kyle, and we got 2 limits of squid here in pretty short order. So we're gonna get the boat cleaned up, we're gonna get these bagged up, and we're gonna head over to Sushi Kapo Tamura over on East Lake, and we're gonna show you how to make some awesome nigiri with this wonderful squid that we have.
Come on over.
Come on over. Located in East Lake neighborhood of Seattle. So we're here, the chef's here getting ready for some Ika nigiri. So why don't you guys come on in? Good morning everyone, we're here over at Sushi Kapo Tamura on East Lake. I'm here with executive chef Taichi Kitamura. We're here, we're going to show you how to clean the squid that we caught this morning and how to prepare it into several dishes. So thank you so much for hosting us and having us here this morning.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. All right. So basically, I like to use, everyone has a different method of having to clean it, but I like to use scissors. Okay. And so it just goes a lot quicker, especially if you've got an assembly line and a helper to help guide the process. So once you got your bag of squid or the squid that you've harvested, simply like to just go through easily. Right in front of the eyeball, I like to just take a snip, cut right there, and then you'll notice that there's a beak, a hard beak right in the center. We saw that on the video. I like to squeeze that out, and then you end up with a nice tentacle over here. Now the body, you'll notice on the belly side of it, you'll see a hard, clear plastic piece. We call that the feather. And the feather, I go the opposite side of that mantle, and I go ahead and just run the scissors up the whole length of the mantle, and then that'll expose the insides, the entrails. You'll see the sperm sac in this one. This one's a male particularly. You'll see the ink sac over here, the eyes, of course. I go ahead and take my thumb. I peel underneath that feather. I hold onto that, and then all with one motion, I just pull the whole entrail off. So then we can put that into the discard. We end up with a nice open mantle. However, some people, and this is totally optional, you can remove the skin, and simply, it's again, taking your thumb, running it underneath the fins, holding onto that, and just kind of peeling away, exposing that beautiful ika or squid. We got both sides, and obviously it's got a little bit of ink on there, but now this is ready. I'll hand this over to Chef, and he will prepare that. He can diamond score it, and if you're going to diamond score it, you want to do that on the inside of the mantle. You can put cross hatches, and so that's a good idea to do that, because when you diamond score it, you know when it's cooked to perfection. It'll curl, and then the diamond shape, and as he's showing it here, will curl, and then you can poach it, you can deep fry it, you can stir fry it, and then boom, you know it's done. The number one thing you don't want to do is overcook the squid. You know, we don't want to end up with a rubbery, tough product. So preparation, cleaning, and preparing the catch is vitally as important, so that you can have a nice, wonderful meal. Throw that away. Just kind of peel and go. So then you'll end up with a nice, clean piece on both sides. So that's the outside. This is the inside. Okay, we'll give that a quick rinse in the water. And another tip that we like to do is to diamond score the inside. And if you're going to do it on the inside. Okay, and so why we do this is it provides a little bit more surface area for seasoning or salt, or if you're going to stir fry different recipes, it takes in more of that seasoning that you're going to be using in your cooking preparation. And why we like that? Squid, they take on whatever you cook it in, season it, the oils, soy sauces. You might want to do a Thai basil stir fry. You might want to do a Korean stir fry. That's the beauty of squid. It's good any which way. So I'll hand this over, and we'll just kind of finish up with the cleaning here, and we'll get to cooking it. I'm sure you guys are very interested in seeing that. Hey, so I just learned something really unique and different that I never even knew about. So Taichi is going to be showing there's an inner membrane actually inside the mantle, and he says for a nigiri preparation, it's best to peel that inner lining out so that you end up with a very clean, soft, and tender product, because we're going to be enjoying this part raw. So I'll just hand that over to Chef Kitamura.
So use a dry, nice towel like this, and then you take off.
That's right.
Small membrane like that.
Beautiful.
See that? And you just got to do your best and take as much skin membrane off as possible. Okay. See how nice, pure white like this? This is what you want when you're doing sushi. Okay, and there's another layer of skin on the outer part too, which I am going to peel off.
Beautiful.
See that? I know it's a lot of work, but this makes a big difference.
Hey, I hope you guys had as much fun as we did on the water. That was an amazing, amazing morning. Special thanks to Chef Taichi Kitamura, owner of Sushi Kapo Tamura here on East Lake. Be sure to visit his restaurant for some awesome, awesome sushi. Hands down the best in Seattle. And special thanks to the Marine Trade Association and the Seattle Boat Show for sponsoring this event. My name is Captain Paul Kim. I'm the owner of Fish PNW Guide Service. You can also find me on Facebook at Seattle Squid or fishpnw.com. Enjoy the show, everyone.